particularly in the last few years, more than even I could, living where I was. And I mean, he really did. And he never even asked himself why, or he just did it. So my credit to him. When I think about my mom, I think that I learned two things. And not because she tried to teach me. It wasn't an extroverted act, but more, it was just so intrinsically a part of who she was that you could not help but learn. And I learned that there's only two currencies and two things that matter in life, and there's time and love. And time is finite. There's only so much time in life, and I think through her actions, through her joie de vivre, through her choices, through what she didn't wait to do things, because she knew, whether she wanted to admit it or not, she I think knew better than I ever will, or most people, that time is finite, and you just have to do what you want. And that's the truth. As long as you're not hurting anyone, do what you want and have fun. And then she really did that. And love and care, as opposed to time, which is finite, love and care is infinite. But yet we don't always spend it as much realizing that. It's not a bank account that will go to zero, it's something that will go forever. And when I think about some anecdotes of how she would do that, she gave love, but to give love expecting something in return is not true love. That is just, in a way, somewhat selfish, because you want to get something in return. True love is when you don't expect anything in return. And a couple stories is we're very good friends with my cleaning ladies and nannies. We had Juana, who was she was coming back over the border, and she was illegal. And they used a coyote to smuggle them over the border. It's not an actual animal, but that's what the person's called. And I remember, I was so young, but I remember they called, and they're speaking Spanish, but my mom told me, she needs money to get over the border. And my mom just sent the money without expecting anything in return, and didn't think twice about it. Also, of our cleaning lady, they needed a down payment on their house in San Diego, and my mom just gave the money. And it wasn't about, when will you pay me back, I will charge you interest, this or that. There was no question about that. There was just the act of giving, and not expecting anything in return, particularly money, but even a thank you, just doing that. And she just gave that to anyone. And another thing I'll always remember every time is dry cleaners. You could find where we lived in the world by asking dry cleaners, because she was such good friends with them.
She was a good client.
She was a very good client, but also she was a very good client, but she was friends with anyone who was willing to be a friend and willing to be a good person. And she recognized that, I think, better than anyone I ever know, that true good people, and I think that's why you're all here, is because you're good people, and she recognized that. And she treated you accordingly like that, because that's what you should do in life. And not because she expected something in return, but that's just what life is about, or what it at least should be about. So that's what I'll remember from her, is time is finite, so do what you want, as long as it's within certain realms, and give love unconditionally, and as much. You can never love too much. You can never tell someone I love you too much. And because you can't, then you shouldn't let it, go for miscommunication. And this is about friends and everything. And I honestly think, we're a relatively small family. We have some extended relatives here today. But even for her friends, I think she really thought of, she was a sister to others. She was a daughter to others who were not related by blood. But we had a big family in the sense that of the friends that we have and everything like that. And she was unique, and she punched above her weight, and she was larger than life. So, and that's it.
I just want to add something.
And thank you to Danny and Walter and Paige for hosting us.
Joyce and I met. We were like 25 years old. I had just arrived from France, and we grew up together. We had our ups and downs. We went through, I went through marriages and divorces and everything. And Jerry put up with, the husband who never spoke a word of English until much later. And but we always had a great time. And to add to what Jerry was saying about Joyce, she loved to be a guide. So one time I remember I went to visit them in Lederman. And as I was going back at the airport, I bought Elle magazine to kill time, and I'm looking at what to do in San Diego. And I looked, there were like 10 things to do. I had done them all in like less than a week's time. Joyce, and every single one of them I had done. So she was always the best guide. So I said, thanks to you with seeing America. So now I got to go to Savannah a few times. So, and every time it was, you know, like me, I was home. When I go visit Joyce and Jerry, it's my home. Like I'll tell her what to cook, what to do. And this is the kind of relationship we had. So it was very comfortable, and I'll miss it.